How do? Welcome back. No beer today, I'm on water. Well, I say today, I mean this afternoon, because I'm out later. So I'm not drinking this afternoon. I'm actually brewing. That's why I'm sat here in Brew Corner. Because I've got a busy weekend. I'm going visiting my mother tomorrow, and that'll take up most of the day. And then of course we're going to do the shopping on Sunday. So I was going to brew this weekend, but because of what's come up and different things have changed, I'm trying to fit it in this afternoon before I go out. And that's one of the great things about extract brewing. If I was an all grain brewer, I couldn't do this. But yeah, it just takes a couple of hours and that's it. You can put one on quickly in the afternoon and unexpectedly, and get a brew out. What I'm actually brewing is an American Pale Ale. It's my own recipe again. Just light malt extract. I've steeped some crystal, 140 EBC. I think that's about 50 Lovibond, I'm not too sure, but it had a nice sort of like toffee colour to the water after it's steeped. And I've also used a little bit of carapils as well, just to give it some body and a nice head retention. And then the hops are a classic. It's Columbus for bittering, because it's like 15.8%, so I've only had to use a smidgen. That's good. And for flavour and aroma, it's the classic Cascade and Amarillo. A little bit more Cascade than Amarillo. And they'll be added for 15 minutes, and then I'll do a 15-minute hop stand. And that's it. So it's a very sort of classic American Pale Ale. It's coming up to the boil, it's not far off. Oh, what else has happened? Right, this weekend I am bottling both the Australian Sparkling Ale and the Saison. Now, the Australian Sparkling Ale is tasting really nice. Very light bodied, which is what I wanted. Because of that sugar, it's tasting a little macro-ish, if you know what I mean. It's like a macro lager, but with a bit more body. But it's got a real nice fruitiness, and I think that's coming both from the Galaxy, obviously, but also that Verdant IPA. It gives it a really nice, I'm picking up like a stone fruit, which I don't think is a flavour in Galaxy. I think Galaxy is more tropical. But this has got a nice stone fruity flavour to it, and I'm assuming that's coming from the Verdant IPA, and it is really prominent. It's not like in the background, it's really there. So this yeast is, yeah, I only brewed it at about 21 degrees as well, so it's not very high. You'd think you'd need to go higher to get all those esters, but 21 degrees, I mean, it's really fruity yeast. So that's going to be a good beer. So I'm bottling that this weekend, and hopefully in the next week or two we can do a taste test of that. And the Saison, I should have used Bell Saison. Oh my, wow, that M29. It's a Saison yeast. The Bell Saison, from what I remember last time I used it, it was more like a generic Belgium. You know, like a Leffe or something like that. Very sort of, there was a Belgianness about it. It tasted very Belgian-y. This M29, well, it tastes Belgian, but it's very farmhousey. Let me just say that, it's very farmhousey. There's a funky mustiness to it. There's a big pepperiness to it, and don't forget it also used rye as well. So that and this yeast, yeah, there's a big peppery, spicy, funky flavour to it. I'm picking out the orange and I'm picking out the coriander, but I think they need to be twice as much in the recipe, because that M29 is just taken over, propped up with the rye. It is a proper Saison sort of farmhouse yeast. It's not like the Bell Saison, which I thought was a little bit more sort of like your Belgian Trappist type, you know, the fruity, little bit of cloviness in there. I'm just keeping my eye on this. Yeah, that M29, wow. That's going to be an interesting one to try. But it's a nice light-bodied beer, so hopefully, as is with the Australian sparkling ale, so hopefully I'll get some really nice carbonation in both of those beers. Obviously the sparkling ale is meant to be sparkling, and yeah, the Saison is meant to be a highly carbonated beer. It's very dry, my god, it's dry, which is also meant to be one of the styles for Saison. It's dry, it's bitter, and there's quite a bit of bitterness coming through, and yeah, highly carbonated. So I think I've ticked all the boxes. It's whether a newbie, because this book is meant to be for newcomers, would appreciate the subtlety of the style when it comes to the taste, you know, the nuance of that farmyard. Anyway, that's it. I'm getting up near now to boiling temp, and I'm about 95, so I'm going to have to go and keep my eye on this. But I'll see you again in the next video. Here's my water. Until tonight. Bye bye for now.